Hello and welcome back to the Becoming Relentless podcast. I am your host, Noa McCabe, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host,
Danielle Kusenberger.
Woohoo! And today we are going to do a little contest prep review, kind of talk to you guys about how our personal preps are going, and maybe y'all can get some things from this.
Mm-hmm. We have I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
I'm excited.
Overview your prep mentality.
Yes. Everything contest prep. Y'all know I've been in prep forever at this point. I can't even tell you how long. Yeah.
So my life. You started in what? Was it March?
I think I started in March, like around my birthday.
Yeah, it was definitely before your birthday. What do we even do for your birthday? What was your birthday?
We were in Dallas for the...
We did. We went for a show.
We saw Tyler Mannion.
Bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Spent my birthday bodybuilding.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Which I love, by the way.
Wow, long ago.
I know.
Now we're in July.
Now we're in July.
But when was the last time you were on stage? With me, right?
December 2021.
So how many months is that?
18. Yeah,
that's incredible.
19 months.
Yeah, so don't rush to get on stage, people.
Yes.
Take your time.
Take your time. If there's one thing that y'all have learned from this podcast, it's probably
take your time.
Take the time. Yeah.
That's funny. Long time. But I know you're ready. You're going to be on there soon, huh?
Yes. When was the last time you were on stage?
A year from...
A
year from... What's today? 5th?
Mm-hmm.
Year from Saturday.
Okay. Oh, wow. Almost a full year. Woo!
Take myself out. Just kidding. Yes, but it's been good. So, prep review.
What's
your hardest what's the hardest thing about your prep right now?
Honestly, not knowing.
Okay.
I don't like to admit that, but I love to have structure and plans. And so day to day, I can execute. But not knowing when the actual show is, I start to think when do I need to order my Protan? When do I need to have my suit ready? Yeah, I start to kind of overthink that stuff. But I've been really good about catching that and just being nope, we'll focus on today. Just look at today, and that's it.
Overthinker.
But the mentality, if I'm really tired, it's easy for me to start being when am I going to get on stage? I don't even know. And people ask, and I love that they ask because they're invested in my journey, but they're when's your show date? And I'm just I have no idea.
I was going to ask you. Do you know?
I would estimate the San Antonio Pro in September.
Yeah.
And that's 11 weeks out.
I would agree. I don't know, but I would agree. I hope it is because my parents live there. My parents are going to come watch you.
Aw, I would love that.
I'll make my 4'11" mom
hold a sign.
Hold a sign that says Noah.
Just Noah on it. Yeah.
Watch, it's going to be backwards. It's going to say A-O-N.
Yes.
Own. That's funny. Anyways, that's super. So mentality. Well, I feel when you're that close, even prepping for so long, when you've been that close for so long too, you're just so when is it?
Yeah, I think I'm
Christmas
just really
Day.
excited. It's not a impatience thing. I'm seeing friends and pros and women that I talk to, and we've all been on prep together, so we've been messaging and texting. They're all getting to stage. And I'm just oh man, I want to be up there with them.
I also, I agree. And I do feel I'm more like you in this way now. This prep is going to be really good because my mentality has shifted I'm excited to be on stage. Just before I was it wasn't I wasn't excited. I was just nervous all the time.
Yeah.
So I was whenever. But now I'm like you, it's just for fun. You just love being up there.
I do.
You do all this work.
Yeah.
And that's fun to do the hard work, even though it's really hard. But it's fun to be on stage, and that's where you feel alive.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you want to feel that adrenaline rush.
Exactly. We do all of this work because we love it. We love the training. We love being pushed. I love when I get that message from Justin that's drops the carbs, ups the cardio.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough. That's rough.
Yes.
But you know that you can do it. And that after you do it, you're going to feel so good. I really like that. But then getting to stage, it's it's the reward. It's like, yay, you did all of that hard stuff and now you get to have fun.
Yes.
With your friends.
I agree. And I also feel like when we get those messages of like, drop your food, up your cardio, you also know like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to look good. Next check-in, I'm going to look even better. So it's the excitement of like, it's the adrenaline, dopamine. It's a dopamine hit you get from, oh, okay, we're go time.
Yes.
And that dopamine hit fuels the adrenaline for being on stage. So it's super exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is exciting.
Especially when you get up there and you hear the music and it's just you and your body moving, posing. Oof.
Posing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love
posing, I think I'm excited to showcase the improvements in my posing as well, because I know I'm making improvements in my physique, but I'm also really excited for like the posing aspect of it, because even at nationals, like when I went pro, watching that footage back, I could see ways to improve. And so I'm really excited to like showcase that too.
I was looking at nationals, almost 2 years ago.
Almost 2 years.
And I was like, no way I posed like that. No way. But at the time, no, we were still one of the best. I don't remember if we were posing coaching yet. I don't think so.
I wasn't. I think you might have started.
I don't know. It might have been small gigs. But we were still one of the best posers at the time. But it's just like now that we know our stuff, I was like, D, that's horrible. But it was like, so we'd get compliments on it. It's just crazy how things evolve.
And also posing has changed like in the last 2 years too, from when we were up there to now. Some of the things that I did back then, I'm like, I wouldn't do, and I wouldn't teach other people to do.
Yeah, I agree. So I know in your morning routine, you go on your walk with Murph.
Yep.
And who's the other dog? Did you get a name yet?
I think we're going to call him Tyson.
Dude, I was going to call him Salsa. Call him Salsa.
Salsa, that's so cute.
Right? No, they should get one of those, like a wiener dog. Call him Salsa. Salsa, move your hips for me.
They're so wiggly.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That's so goofy.
Yeah. He punches. Like, he punches his crate. He punches my legs. So, like.
He's a puncher.
He's a puncher. So, I was like, okay,
Puncher
Mike Tyson.
Poncho. Yes.
Puncher Poncho.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah.
I mean, name, not Tyson. Dude, you just, whenever I hear that, I think about Tyson chicken strips.
Chicken nuggets.
Yes. That's funny. No, he's cute. So you get up, do you walk them and then do your cardio?
Yes, it depends. So my morning routine, I have my non-negotiables, but the order in which I execute them is a little bit flexible. So if I wake up and I just know that the effort that I'm going to give into cardio is not there, because I think cardio should be as hard as your training. Like you need to be like challenging yourself. You can't. It is you can't
different
just
kind of. It's a mental hard because, for example, elliptical.
Yeah,
it's you in that time, and all that's gonna happen is time's gonna pass. So it's like the calories,
Yeah.
So it's so different from training, but it is just as challenging, just in a different way.
Exactly, and like the elliptical, it's easy to like settle into a rhythm and not be attacking. Like I feel like when I'm on the Stairmaster, it's a little bit different versus
you're
the
always
elliptical.
Engaged mentally because you can't fall.
Yes. But the elliptical like,
is just you in that time.
Exactly. So if I wake up and mentally I'm a little bit foggy or I'm not as like fresh and ready to go as I want to be, then I'll take the dogs for a walk and I'll get like 5,000 steps. Like we just go for a walk and then I'm like all warmed up, I'm ready to go, and then I'll go hit cardio. But if I wake up and I'm just feeling fresh, like I'm like, ooh, I feel good right now. Like my feet hit the floor and I'm ready to go. I'll hit cardio first and then go home and walk the dogs. So that's like interchangeable. But after that, it's very routine because I'll sit down, journal a little bit, stretch, pose, and then I'm like still all sweaty and nasty. So I'll go shower. After I shower, it's like work time. Like my brain like turns on like fully. And so then I'll get to work, whether that's check-ins or my corporate job, but it's like very set. The routine is set. It's just like sometimes the order of it shifts.
Yeah, which is important. I have an athlete who's learning how to have a routine without being too strict on ourselves. So
Yeah.
we used to be there too. You would set routine. If it doesn't go by this order, then the world's gonna crash on you. You're not treating people else.
Like everything's
if
out the
cardio
window.
wasn't hit right here, oh my gosh.
Yes. So I used to be like that, like time block to the extreme where it was like wake up at 5, cardio 5:15 to 6:15. Like it would be
and if there was
strict.
like a minute off, like you're like
I'd get mad. Like I'd get upset and it would ruin my day. And so it just wasn't productive. And actually I learned from Alexa, who we had on the podcast a while back, like it's okay. It's part of feminine energy versus masculine. Like the feminine encourages you to kind of flow. And so I try to incorporate that in my morning routine. So if I, like I said, like if I wake up and I'm just not fully mentally ready to attack cardio, then I'm not going to force it. I'm going to like listen to my body and like let the flow of my day start with a walk. Like I still like to get activity in and I'm still being productive towards my goals, but then I don't have to beat myself up that like, oh, I didn't hit cardio at 6 a.m. Like it's okay if I hit it at 7 a.m.
No, I agree. I think it's very important. That's so one thing that I was telling her, I was like, you don't have to have if the set time block it.
Yeah.
But if you need to switch two things around, like you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
And I think also something too is like if your cardio is calorie based. So what I've done too is if I have a dentist appointment at 8 a.m., okay, well, I probably won't have time to execute everything that I normally do. So I'll do 250 calories of cardio. I'm still getting cardio done. I'll do 250 in the afternoon or post training or at night. And yeah, that's not ideal, but if it's less stressful for you in the day, you're still getting your cardio done. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's maybe where I used to get a little bit stuck is like thinking that it all had to be so perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Breaking up cardio is big.
Yeah, and it's okay to do that.
Yeah, and it allows you to just get it done at a higher rate. I'm glad you mentioned that because I think a lot of people don't prioritize having that flexibility of the flow, which allows you to just push more effort into things.
Yeah. And at night too, what I've realized sometimes, like I don't like doing 2-a-days of cardio, but I will. But I've noticed like at night when I have to go finish it up, if it's 250 or 200 or whatever it is, like I just want to go to bed. So I'm cranking that thing. Like my effort's really high because I'm like, I'm trying to get this done, knock it out, go home, eat my last meal, and go to bed. So it's like the effort is still there. I'm not dragging. It's not like, oh, I got to finish this. It's like, I want to finish this.
Yes. So, I love that. I love that you just that you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That's one thing. So back in our last episode, we talked about self-belief. And something that I wish I added, but you just brought it up, is the want to do things. Yeah. I made a reel on this about how if you don't want to execute something for your goal, if you just feel like you need to, you're not going to enjoy it. So with cardio, wanting to do it because you want to achieve your goal is so big. I think people wake up and mostly new athletes when they get I have to hit 500 calories, which we're at, and we're definitely going to see more calories that we need to hit. Yeah. I'm at 500 and it's 24 weeks out.
Ooh.
Which is exciting though.
That's really exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's something that he has changed his cardio, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. I used to wake up and be like, oh, I need to hit 500 calories, dreading it, going to the gym, dreading it the whole time. You get on the elliptical, you have 40 minutes on that machine, and the first 5 minutes, you're just thinking about how you don't want to do it. Like, what are you doing? No, that's you're literally dragging yourself down. So there's two things I do here. Now I say I want to do the cardio. I look forward to it. This is my, you see this everywhere. It's your time. It's your you time. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's your time, but sometimes you're just not like using it for me time. You're using it for challenges. So what I like to do is like the first 100, I'll set benchmarkers. First 100, I can't have music or anything playing on my phone. It's just me and my air. So I like to hear myself breathe. And I do this sometimes for the last 100 as well. But that allows you're chasing just 100 calories right there. And you're focusing and getting to that number with this mentality or this mindset or this goal or not listening to music or playing this part of a podcast. So once I hit 100, I'm allowed to put on music or a podcast. Until I get to 350 calories, I have the choice of putting a towel on the calorie thing so I can like just block out the time and the calorie because it's right in front of me. Sometimes when I'm looking at it the entire time, it looks like it's taking longer than it actually is. But I've realized now that since I have these little benchmarkers of goals, I've been enjoying cardio more and also killing it faster. Because you just give more effort. So I think the benchmarkers are fun. And if you do the benchmarkers, like you're allowing yourself to want to have challenges throughout the session.
Dude, I like that a lot. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to try that tomorrow.
I do.
I think that's awesome.
It's really fun. Sometimes there's another one. I used to do this a lot. I'd play 4 songs or 5 songs from a playlist. And I cannot look at the time until all 5 are done. And so it allows you to kill like 4, 8, 12, 20 minutes of cardio. And all you're focused on is literally killing the songs, but like pedaling as fast as you can. And then you get to it and you're like, oh, I'm already 400 calories in. This is easy.
Yeah. And then you just got to finish it out. Yeah.
So the little challenges allow you, because a lot of people get on there and they're like looking at the time, looking at the calories. Oh, I'm only 50 calories in. Yeah. Well, dude, what are you doing? All you're focusing on is like that little the next number. You're like not going to
each individual calorie or second, and like it's gonna feel way longer.
If you're in a classroom and you're looking at the time, you're gonna be bored.
Yeah.
If you're on elliptical and you're looking at the time, you're gonna be bored. What do you expect? Your brain wants to be stimulated. On elliptical, all you have is the wall and the things around you. You're not gonna be stimulated. So make yourself stimulated by doing little challenges like that.
That is so cool. I'm gonna do that. I think setting little goals like throughout the day is so important, like not just with cardio, but in your prep overall. It makes me think about a conversation that I had where it was like, you need to set goals for yourself through the day. So one that I've been doing recently is like, how many times in a week can I hit 20K steps, like my NEAT? And a lot of people were commenting yesterday because I did a full day of eating on my story. And people were like, wait, you're so lean, but you're eating so much food. And I was like, well, one, I've actually been training intensely, like again, because I think for a while there, I had not purposely, but maybe subconsciously been saying, like, I had just pulled back on intensity in training without realizing it because I had that mentality of like, oh, I've been in prep for so long, I'm tired. But then I was like, nah, snap out of that. Like, you're not tired, you're fine. You're eating enough, like you're sleeping enough. You're fine. So I kind of stopped that like victim mindset and was just like, we're done with that. But someone was like, you need to set your goals for yourself. So wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'm going to hit 20K steps today. And so I have this challenge with one of my athletes because she walks a lot. And I was like, all right, let's get 20K 6 days in a row. And whoever does it first between me and her gets a new outfit from Free Spirit Outlet. And so she messaged me last night. She's like, guess who just hit her 20K 6 days in a row? And I was like, no.
That's super
yesterday
cool.
I only got 15.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you win. But I was like, I love that challenge and setting goals for yourself like through the week, through the day. So like my day challenge today will be like, I'm going to try to hit 20K steps today. But it doesn't have to be like steps or movement. It could also be like learning something new. Like you should learn one new thing at least every single day. And so I have that like little goal of like, okay, today I'm going to learn something new and I'll pick a topic. And within training, like it's pretty easy to set goals within training. Like I think everybody should have that where you go in and you have your logbook or you have your notes. And maybe last week you hit 12 reps on something. So this week you are going to hit 13. And that's your goal. Like go in there with the plan, with the goal, with the intention. So like doing it for cardio makes sense too. I feel like I just didn't even think about that. But I like that you're like, okay, first 100 calories, nothing. Because then it gives you have that intention of like, I have to burn these 100 calories so I can listen to this song or this podcast.
Exactly. And I also realized the person I am, if Justin were watching this, he'd be like, can
you hear his voice in your head?
He's the cheese, and he'd be like, "This is so you." I realize if after a certain amount of time, I get really antsy, and I just need attention. I just love attention. So like when I'm chilling with him, sometimes I'll look over and he'll be like, "What do you need?" And I'll be like, "I need some attention. So I know this about myself. Same thing with like sitting in a car. Like I do not like it because I do something. Like, so if I have 30 minutes on elliptical, there's going to be a time I get antsy, like the mental challenge and mental distractions.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, your legs can handle it. Like your body can handle it.
Yeah.
Especially on elliptical, you're fine. So the only thing holding you back is your mind being busy. There's also like mental things. So there's some scheduling. My day, I'll save for cardio. So I can mentally plan it, which allows me to have that mental time of like, you prioritizing things to do during cardio that's not on your phone.
I feel that. Yeah. Like you're kind of going through the mental checklist, like your day mentally while you're doing cardio. It gives you something to do too. Mm-hmm. So you're 24 weeks out-ish, yeah?
Ish. So I'm doing a local first. I don't know which one. I don't even know if he's chosen, which is concerning because I'm like an athlete doing one of them too. I'm not going to put it in the same show I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm between 21 and 24 weeks out.
And how do you feel like this contest prep has been going compared to your last one? Let's not talk about the last one because we've talked about that one a lot. Not that it's like invalid, but like we've talked about that one a lot. Yeah, let's talk about like the nationals one.
Yes. So yes, nationals was my best prep, and it was because of the way I acted during it, my mentality throughout the entire time. Mm-hmm. More so just putting myself first, more mature, knew myself better, knew my wants better, and just did it for myself, like the entire prep.
Would you say you were more like 100% bodybuilding at that point?
Yeah.
Like your life was very much bodybuilding.
And it wasn't so much people. So this is something that I realized is I don't like the mentality where bodybuilding is so your life that you just don't want to, and you can't smile at other people. You're not happy around other people. Yeah. You're not happy doing things because you got to eat a meal or you got to be here or you got to do your cardio. And it's just so much bodybuilding that everything that's not bodybuilding sucks. I don't like that. That's how you burn out.
Yep.
So I look at it as it was my life and it is my life, but there's this other part of my life, which is the creative stuff that I love just as more. The mentality I have here in this prep is much like my December prep 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. But it also is because I have way more alone time too. It like forced alone time per se. That time I prepped where I was successful, I had way more forced alone time. My cardio was fun because I was living with a lot of girls, so that was like my only time alone. And it was just that was one of my favorite times because I miss that so much. I would do cardio and then I'd post, and that was like my best part of the day because that was the only part that I had to myself, and that was the most I would say empowering time because it was alone. That's why I'm excited for you to live alone because it's euphoric when you get that time of just you being proud of yourself. And so that's what I'm most looking forward to this prep as well, is just being proud of myself. Mostly because there isn't a lot bodybuilding related that I can say I'm proud of myself for.
Like within the last 6 months or year, or what do you mean?
Definitely year.
I think you've accomplished a lot within bodybuilding, but there have been obstacles or challenges. Mm-hmm. But who you are now is like, you're completely different than that nationals prep in terms of like who you are as a coach, a person, like so many different ways. But the focus, the mentality, I can see it like turning back on of like, okay, I'm going to win this prep. Whereas like maybe before the focus was a little bit scattered, like it just wasn't like as focused in on as it is now. But you've developed the ability to focus on prep and bodybuilding and other parts of your life, not just.
And it wasn't, and now it's a choice too. The other parts of my life I want to enjoy. Yeah. Before so there's two things that are different mostly. My last successful prep, I was enjoying other parts of life, not just by choice, but more so by pleasing people to make sure that everyone, like those friendships or those people or the social part of my life was still prospering. Who cares?
Like you almost felt like you had to?
Yes.
Okay.
Now there's parts of my life that get energy that aren't bodybuilding related, but that matter because they push me and that aren't people pleasing. And number 2, my December prep that was successful, my only goal that prep was to go pro. And the only thing that cared was that it went pro. And my goal this prep is to go pro too. I love the whole process now. I love getting up to do cardio. I love the whole thing. I used to be grumpy doing cardio. I used to be grumpy if you dropped my food. I used to like be pissed and just annoyed and like in a mood all day. Now it's exciting. Like now I want to. And so the want now versus the need before is the biggest difference, which is why I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah. Every prep is different, but when you've grown in this way, I feel like it's a lot more exciting. And the way that you're executing is a lot more like a pro, because pros are people too. And like while maybe social media or like people try to like put them on a pedestal that like, oh, they're perfect, they're pros. Like I can guarantee you they're not. And they go through the same things. But a lot of the successful pros, they're not just successful on stage or in their preps. Like they're successful in life across the board with their relationships, their friendships, like their business endeavors. And it's because of that mentality. So I think that's huge.
Well, thank you. So there's also 2 things. So the cardio aspect has definitely my December prep was successful, but my highest cardio then was 445 cal. Which was high at the time. I was like, 445 cal? What do you got? Are you serious? And now it's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Still at 445. Because like now I'm at 500, which there's people out there at 800 that I know of. And it's just like, it's my highest calorie amount I have to burn, but it's the easiest amount of cardio mentally that I've had to go through. It's still really hard. It's just more exciting because I failed myself so much that I know that I won't let it happen again.
Yeah.
So that part is super exciting for me to be able to show myself that I can do it now. And then secondly, my last prep didn't go well because I stopped giving effort into the gym, like true effort. I got small and pulled out because I stopped truly showing up for myself. And now I think a lot of people, I remember I used to, like I did train hard, but training hard isn't it like anymore. It's not going to get you places anymore, especially when you're naturally just smaller. Like I'm naturally just smaller in terms of muscle.
Like just built, I feel like structurally.
In terms of muscle,
like joints,
and it really depends. There's if I am eating, then obviously I don't look as small. But if I weren't bodybuilding and I just let myself, I would definitely shrink up. So being naturally small, you have to force your muscles to have volume, to have blood in it by training really hard, obviously. So that's something else that I won't let myself do is not train hard, because I remember I hate how I felt when I realized I was like it was actually at our posing seminar, our second one at Factory. I took a picture there and I looked good. I looked like I was lean for forever. I was just small. I didn't let myself I didn't let myself gain weight to the point where I needed to. I didn't let myself feel my body to the point I needed to. I didn't let myself do what I needed to actually flourish. I let myself stay here, which is I did have like an eating disorder, like spike up, like mentally towards food of like, I just want to be lean all the time. December through April when I went to Vegas. April when I went to Vegas was the time that I stopped. I was like, I'm done.
Like I have to commit and go all in.
I'm done just caring about being lean and being small and not like feeling my body and not eating right and not eating how a coach and a leader would, and not in terms of fueling the muscles and not eating for my goals and not training for my goals and just going through the motions.
Thank you for sharing that, because I feel like that is very vulnerable for you to be like open about it, because most people would just be like,
I get mad at myself. Like I'm over getting mad. It's just, I look back and I'm like, no way. No way. Because there will be times now
where you were holding yourself back.
Yes. Well, for sure the entire time. But there will be times now where I'm look at my pictures that I have taken in like bikinis, like 3 weeks ago when I was like entering prep, or 4 weeks ago. And I look so good. And I love how I look thick for my body. And I was like, you didn't even let yourself enjoy that season.
Right.
Of feeling that.
Yeah.
Like embracing that power in a thicker skin, because you were just self-sabotaging the entire time, which everyone will go through at a certain point.
Yeah.
In any, yeah.
Yeah,
but
100%.
afterwards, you're just like, really?
Well, it's so frustrating. Like, I've been there too, and I really resonate with that. Like, almost on the other side right now, like currently, I've been lean for so long, and people are like, oh, you look so good, you're so lean. I'm not always happy like with it. I'm just like, man, I kind of miss being thicker. I kind of miss having body fat. But then when I had body fat,
I remember, dude,
I was
you're
struggling,
so funny with that.
dude. I was struggling.
I remember there will be days where you're like, I can't wait to be lean.
Yeah.
And as soon as you got lean, you said, as soon as you got lean, you're like, I can't wait to be thick.
I can't wait to be thick.
And I was like,
Noah.
What?
Bro. I know.
So I have a challenge for you. You're gonna be thick. You are,
dude. I'm gonna be thick by Christmas.
You're gonna be thick.
Yeah,
but like, you're gonna look back and love your find what you love about your body right now. Because you're gonna be lean again. You're gonna be thick again. You're gonna be in every body shape that you ever could want, because of who you are and like who we are. Like, we can choose
part of the sport too. Like,
yes,
I have to be okay with the different phases.
Like, enjoy how you look right now.
I will say something that I took away from you, but I haven't told you about yet, is like taking mirror pics, like kind of like for yourself. So I like, it's been so long. The kids these days would call them thirst traps. Okay, I've been taking thirst traps, but like for myself, like like because I haven't done that in so long. Like, normally I'm at the gym, I'll snap a selfie, whatever, like with a pump, good lighting. But like at home in my bathroom, like when I look at myself, it's normally like pretty critical. Like, I'm like, oh, I could use a little bit more glute, or oh man, like, where's the ab lines? Like, it's like critical lens. So I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to stop that. And what I've been doing is like, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, dang, I look good. I'm going to snap a pic. Like, and I don't like post it up anywhere or anything, but it's helped me mentally and like with my confidence, because I'll go on my camera roll, like looking for a meme or looking for something. And I'm like, oh, look at me the other day. I was looking good.
Yeah,
and it just helps with that confidence. So I do feel like, as a woman, like, take those selfies. Like, look in the mirror when you're feeling yourself.
Yeah.
And take them.
Yeah.
Take those pics.
I recognize when I'm feeling myself, there's the amount of selfies on my phone.
Yeah.
Or on my story. Today I was like, man, you haven't taken a selfie in a while. But it's very helpful to do that. And I think it's a sign of like respecting yourself, because it's like showing yourself off to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is something that we all should do. But I also... the feminine energy, that's part of building it in a different way.
Yeah.
And I've recognized, I think you'll agree, there's a day you'll be critical, and say you're critical on yourself today. You have to take a picture, you end up saving it. Next week, you're going to look back on that pic and be like, dude, I look good.
I looked good.
So it's like, you have this lens, because there's pictures of me from like 4 months ago. I'm like, I remember getting the photo from Jill, her video, and I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. I am never posting this. I look back and I'm like, wait, what was I looking at? Like, I love that.
Yeah.
So, but it's that shift in mindset. You recognize that you have a lens on yourself that's negative in this moment. So you have to take that, you have to like change that.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna hold you back even more.
Dude, I agree completely. And I think being aware of it, and like, especially having you guys kind of call me out on it and be like, hey, like, don't speak that way about yourself. Like, don't think that way about yourself. And then also, I've been investing more time and energy into embodying the feminine, because I've been very masculine. Like I've been in my masculine energy for a while now.
You are masculine, bro.
Yeah.
I remember when Jay and I would talk about it, you'll be like, she'd be masculine. And it's not so much what like it's
not
just,
in a bad
it's
way.
the way you operate.
Yeah,
You've always
like,
had like your operations were just full masculine.
Very much so. And I think it was reinforced because I was successful with it. Like my preps were successful. Like my body was doing what we needed it to do. But now I'm like, okay, I personally want to shift that energy and like not be so focused on like go, 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 but have that time to just be creative, flow state, like.
I agree.
And it's felt really nice. I'm still working on it.
I'll help you if you want, because there's a lot of things that help it. So I haven't shared this with anyone. Oh my gosh, I was going to share this with Jay, but it's gotten a lot better. I was mentally working through it for a very long time, and I didn't want to speak it because I didn't want it to be reality. So, during the time we had Alexa on the podcast, when was that? 2 months ago?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think so.
April, May. I was just entering prep, and at this same time, I was my feminine energy was growing, and I didn't want it to stop because my old patterns with prep protocols is all masculine.
Yeah.
You do this at a time, you eat your meals at this time, you hit the protocols, XYZ, all masculine, go, go, go. Train as hard as you can, you know.
Very structured and like.
Yeah. No flow.
Yeah.
Just do. No think. Just do. Which works for some people. With where I'm at in life, it's not going to work for me. It's going to hold me back in every area but bodybuilding. And honestly, if it holds you back in every area but bodybuilding, it's going to hold you back in bodybuilding as well.
Yeah.
So my worry was that I was going to want my feminine energy to grow so much that my bodybuilding was still going to take a step back.
Oh, like almost swing the other way.
Yes. And I was like, I don't want my bodybuilding goals to take a step back while I'm exploring my pushing my feminine energy. And I was so worried about this balance that I had to find, but I was just like, I know life's just I'm going to find, I don't have to actively search to find it. It's just going to be found by time. And that's exactly what happened. Time helped me. So having that feminine energy have an outlet outside of bodybuilding will allow you to still have it in bodybuilding while you still have masculine as well.
Yeah. And I think that's important for me, but also like maybe people listening. The goal is to have balance with both and be able to flow within like both of them. Because sometimes like having my masculine energy really serves me, but other times, like you're saying, it's holding me back. And so it is a goal of mine, like for the rest of this year and for the rest of my life, to find ways that I can channel both.
You.
Yeah.
I want to help you big time. It helps me. It also, reason why I want to help you too is because, well, not the reason why, because I care. Yeah. But I recognize when I first started pushing, I got back from Las Vegas and I did a meditation at Mount Bonnell. And that's what I thought was like going to push my feminine energy the most, but it hasn't at all. Well, not at all. It definitely, like the meditation and the being alone and like being silent definitely pushes it. But what's pushed it more is the new interest in doing things on my own. So I'm excited for you to experience that as well. Yeah. And I want to help you. I want to help you. Like I'm going to ask you questions because the questions I'm going to ask you are going to be questions that I'm going to ask myself as well. So, and it's going to allow you to ask me questions so we can both push each other's. Because I believe when you're doing self-exploration, if you have people ask you questions that you don't think about, but make you think about the certain questions, then it's going to help us become more of who we want to be.
Yeah. I'm really excited. Like, I can't wait.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but I am moving downtown into an apartment and I'll be living by myself, like solo.
The first time ever, right?
For the first time ever in my entire life.
You're going to love it down here, dude.
Which is crazy.
You're going to love it.
But I'm so excited to like have my own space, decorate it the way that I want, make it my own, because I've never been able to do that ever. So I'm very excited.
You're going to love it. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's going to be really good. I think it's also going to help my prep a ton. Just
definitely.
I know that I don't think that it's right to like isolate yourself in prep, but I do think it's important to have alone time or to have that time to just be with yourself and reconnect and ask yourself the hard questions. Like, I think you and I will do a really good job of like balancing that, but it is important to have alone time. And I just don't really think I get that in my current life. And so having this move, like the physical space of being downtown, but then also just the energetics, I think
agree.
is going to be
And I do
a game
feel
changer.
like you'll agree because you get sometimes, I call it forced alone time in terms of you live with Zach.
Mhm.
Zach's not home, it's forced alone time unless you actively, like you hang out with me.
Yeah.
But until you choose to say, no, I'm not going to hang out with my friends or I'm not making plans with anyone because I'm choosing and I want to hang out with myself today. That is where you find like the more power that you have within your feminine energy side.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm excited for you to do that.
I'm very excited. It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to help in a lot of different ways. But yeah, so that will be in a couple weeks. Well, maybe like a week and a half. 10 days.
Yes. Place is yours.
Woo!
Yeah. So exciting.
But I'm trying to think. So with our prep review, I guess I could talk about like how this prep has been different.
Mm-hmm.
This one. So when I went pro, that prep was very long, kind of like this one. And I just think I grew in a lot of different ways, and I'm excited to like reflect on this prep once we wrap it up. But the difference is like everything. My environment is different. Like I moved to Texas. I train at Factory or Los or Lyft, and just those environments themselves are completely different. The people around me are different, but like the protocols themselves are extremely different. I'm eating a lot more food because I'm actually training really freaking hard and I'm moving with intent throughout my day. Cardio is not a drag. Like we were just talking about it. I actually get up and if I'm ready to attack it, I go attack it. Like I am sweating, I'm dying, I'm making noise on the elliptical sometimes, like as if I'm in like a set. Like I'm like, I'm breathing real hard. And I think those have contributed to like me being able to maintain this leaner physique for longer. Trying to think. I think when I went pro, it got to the point where I was doing so much cardio that we took away the calories and it was just 2 hours a day, like 2 hours a day of cardio, get it done. And then food was really low. I know we were at 900 calories for like 2 weeks, which is that's really not terrible. It goes by so fast. Like
people are going to be like, holy crap. But it is so different. And it also is different from where you're at. And it's so different.
It's like I knew what needed to be done and I wanted it so badly. Actually, I self-sabotaged. That was the thing.
Yeah.
The prep wasn't going to be that bad. And then I made it that bad because I don't know why, because I self-sabotaged. I was like, it's been too easy.
Before that time happened, what were your calories at?
They weren't too low. I think they were like 13 or 1400.
Yeah, I figured
and I'd been like cruising
14 to 16.
Yeah,
16 is pretty high for
prep.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a new athlete sign up with me, and she was like, "Yeah, I did a prep before, and my calories got to 1,000, and I like don't want to ever do that again," or something. Like she said something where she was like, "I don't want to do that again," and I was like, "Okay, but when you're competing and and you have an end goal, like obviously, no, I'm not going to put you on 1,000 calories for 10 weeks, but if we get to 4 weeks out and you're not ready and you're set on this show, like we're going to drop calories. It's not going to be forever, but like the short-term sacrifice is going to be there."
And what's different too is like we're not putting athletes on 1,000 calories for 10 weeks.
No.
We're doing it for like, if anything, that low of cal for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And usually if it's 2 weeks, then you get a refeed like for days in a row. So it's not like that's the difference.
It really, it's like so person dependent, but also like if your calories have to get that low and we still have a good chunk of time, we might have a conversation about moving your show date back, because it's like, if you're not willing to push that hard, let's say you have 4 weeks left and it's like, yeah, like we got to drop cals and up cardio. And you're like, no, I can't do that, or I don't want to do that. Then it's like, okay, then we're going to do a different show. Like, let's, take a breather. If you need a diet break, you need a refeed. Let's get back to like mentally where you need to be. But your show's going to now be 8 weeks out, like there's just ways to compromise. And I guess my biggest thing is with my athletes, I always tell them, like, I'm never going to make y'all do something that I haven't done before. Because if I've done it, I know that you can do it. I know it can be done. And it's how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I don't want to put you on 2 hours of cardio and 900 calories. Nobody wants to do that to their athletes. But if your goal is to win, you're going to do what it takes.
Yeah. I think it's funny, though, when you're around Jay, when he does a hard protocol for someone, he'll say it out loud. Oh, Brad's gonna get it. Or like whoever it is. And you're like, what is happening?
Yeah, like as coaches, we know, like we feel for y'all, but like you do what you got to do.
Yeah,
it's short term,
and it's so also the level of the athlete.
Yeah,
Noah and I can take whatever. Jay's gonna say 2,000 calories of cardio, which he would never. Dude, I wonder how long that would take.
He said 2,000 calories. I'd be like, how am I gonna break that up in my day?
So that'd be
like 2 hours.
2 hours,
probably.
actually.
Yeah, I think that'd be like 2 hours.
Which actually isn't as I thought it'd be way longer.
Bad, yeah.
Okay. Well, like, no. But
people are gonna be like, y'all are crazy.
Yes. But I feel, say like we can take that. We can take 800 calories of food. New athletes cannot.
Yeah.
You can't. You mentally cannot handle it. You think that the set 1,500 is going to be death kind of thing. So I was there. I was like, oh my gosh, I get 1 English muffin in the morning and half a cup of rice. Like, dude, you're still eating. What do you mean? Like, but I used to be there, like where my food wasn't even that low, but I was like, oh my God, it's so low.
Yeah.
So
you have to earn, like, unless you're somebody like Emily Smith who can handle a lot of food. And even then, like, I feel like she had to get to, she had to build that metabolism, and she trained so freaking hard.
And it's also, she trains a lot, like throughout the week. She's always in the gym. It's also too that they kept her cardio in for so long, her genetics, obviously, and she always hits the reverse perfectly.
Yeah.
She's just her masculine energy is very, very, she's all very pretty much all masculine, except for the fact she has Thomas, which allows her to have some feminine. But she just has evolved a lot too.
Yeah. But like she is like an outlier. Because I think a lot of people think
she's incredible
that they'll be able to do that. And then they aren't necessarily. So it's like you have to earn that right. You have to earn the right to eat a lot of food and be lean. And new athletes come in, they see the stage, they see us, and they think like, oh, I want to eat that much and be that lean. But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I didn't even work that way.
And
like
it's also, up until very recently. You have to know the level of athlete that you are. Like Emily is like an all-star athlete. Like she follows things to a T. Like she's reversed and she has the mentality for it. Not everyone is as incredible as Emily Smith, including myself.
Me too.
In the past, like there hasn't been reverses that I kill like Emily Smith, and I will say that like proudly, not proudly. I'll admit that to anyone because it's obviously true. You have to know the level of athlete that you are, and the type of athlete that you are. Just because you can't execute as amazingly as Emily Smith can, and you can't eat as much as she can, or can't like train as much, or just make as much, whatever, doesn't mean that you can't achieve the goal. You just have to figure out ways to apply effort in the ways that you can to push yourself.
Yeah. And your contest prep is going to look different than our contest preps. And they might look different every single year. Like no prep is the same. Yeah. I can't think of a single prep where protocols were like the same. Like every prep has been different in terms of like cardio, food, all of that.
It's always so exciting too. This is the first prep. Actually, I did one prep with low protein, low,
super
like
low.
100, 120 because my digestion was so bad.
Yeah.
But now that I'm still doing pretty low, but I'm me and Emily and I are one of the 2 only athletes, I believe, probably on Justin's roster. Well, he has so many athletes out of our group that have such low protein because everyone else has such high. So it's really cool to like hear your protocols and whatnot.
Yeah. My protein's very high. I'm at like 220 a day.
Yeah. Fuck.
But like I'm good.
Your digestion can handle it. Mine
eat
would say,
like,
we're going to see you next year. Kind of thing.
I definitely built it up there because I think the highest previously was probably like 180. And like we didn't push it much higher, but we've
Mine's
like pushed.
Yeah.
And we could talk about that in a separate podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about ways to mitigate like high protein or how to figure out like what macros work best for your body.
Let's do that. Mm-hmm.
We'll do that on another pod. Yeah.
We'll have it this month.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of contest preps, I just feel like everyone's is going to be different. And it's hard to give somebody like a whole prep plan because I know a lot of athletes
I do
want
have a question.
the plan. Yeah.
I know we're on crunch time. So there's some athletes that choose local coaches, not anything against local. But they choose them knowing that they're not a great coach. Mm-hmm. They just choose them because they're local. But then you go online and you see coaches like, no offense, you and I, or Justin, or Jacoby, or Alex Bush, who have so much success, but you don't hire them. I don't know the reason why. But then you go through a prep phase and you comment on these, you come to our DMs or their DMs, or you go on Q&A and you ask, should I pull out of the prep? Are my macros okay? Do I look okay? What do you think should I do? Why didn't you just hire us?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't. I feel like personally I hired my local coaches because I didn't know any better. But I also like wasn't in the fitness or bodybuilding world. Once I was in it, I realized like, oh, I need a serious coach who knows their shit. And like the local coaches I worked with, it's not that they don't know their shit. They've had success, but I needed more attention to detail. And I just think like with social media, like we put out so much free information. And then if you were to go talk to any one of my athletes, I'm like very confident saying this, like go talk to any one of my athletes. They'll tell you how much detail and attention they get from me every single week. Like I go all in for my athletes. And so I don't know why, like
that just doesn't make any sense.
If it's a pricing thing, like
but doesn't matter.
But even then, like
usually local coaches charge just as much or more because they do in person. And trust me, you don't need an in-person coach. You think you do, you don't. You just need a good coach. No, like I'm just stating facts.
If it's a pricing thing too, you got to ask yourself like what you're investing in. Because
if your coach is a low-level coach, you're going to be a low-level. You're going to have low-level results, and that's another reason why I don't get like if your first time prepping, you don't want someone that you don't think you need all the detail. Okay, cool. Your coach is so low-level that you're going to have a low-level prep and not like you're not going to have fun.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I know. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe people can let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, that was my question for the day.
Yeah.
Just curious.
But if you've been wondering and you want to chat with us about our coaching or our contest prep experiences, please go ahead. We're going to wrap it up because we're running out of time. But we have a lot more coming for you guys this month with the podcast.
Emily Smith. We got macros.
Yep.
We might have PDs.
Yeah. We might have some special guests on here.
Yeah.
Talking smack about bikini. Yeah. So
no, we talk. Yeah. These guests aren't even cool. Why are we having them?
Yeah. We're not going to name them. They're just like whatever.
Two guys that know nothing. They just talk all the time on their stories, bro. Not like they're our bosses or anything.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. And we will catch you guys on the next podcast. Peace.
I hope y'all really enjoyed the podcast today, leaving it feeling more relentless than ever. But we have a few things that we would love to ask of you, so I'm going to give this over to Noa.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you could, I know that this is your new favorite podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Leave any comments and questions below. And make sure that you're sharing across social media so that all of your friends get to listen to the greatest podcast on earth.
And if you have any questions about any topics that we talk about or anything at all, fitness, competing related, anything, we'll hit you back up, Instagram or in the podcast under, if the comment box is there, then we will definitely answer your questions and help you out as best as we can.
Absolutely. So leave those 5-star reviews, let us know, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Have a relentless day.
Bye.